Welcome back to Chaotic Crafting. I'm excited to do a little collaging with you today. I haven't done collaging in like a while. I have a very small workspace, so forgive me for trying to cram it all in here, but this is the best I can do. So I decided to take this Book Lover Ephemera book that is one of Kate Curry and Poor Toast. One of their books has a theme, and of course the theme is books or reading books. And I found a couple of fairies flitting about throughout this book. But then I also found, I wanted to do true fairies, and this is one of my favorite collage ephemera books. It is by Maremi Small Art. She has several little volumes of this journal ephemera. I love hers because it's not two-sided. When you look at one of these Poor Toast ones, you have to make a decision. Do I want this background, or do I want to cut out like what's in the front of this background? So it's kind of hard. But with Maremi's Small Art, the ones that she makes, I love her for this. I don't have to make that decision because the background is just a muted sort of watercolory looking finish. So I found a couple of fairies in here. And so since I'm doing like a theme of fairies at the library, I'm gonna use some book pages to fill up the background of my journal page. A bunch of different, fraying off, a brayer with some jelly plating, some musical notes, but look how cute. This is from the Fairy Collage Ephemera, and then this is from the Book Ephemera. And so she's gonna be sitting on the stack of books. How cute is that? I cannot wait to use her. And then she's gonna be looking at this girl who was in the Book Lover Ephemera book. And she's gonna be looking at her like, could you please hurry up and finish reading so we can go home and have fun? Because she's the bookworm and she is not. But I'm also gonna use a background from the Book Ephemera. This is the magazine. This is one of the cool backgrounds. I may cut it down the middle and sort of separate it, but for now, I'm just gonna do a little bit of gluing down with some matte Mod Podge, gluing down some of this book words, making like a real nice vintagey looking background, and then I'll bring some of these colors back in to blend out and set the stage for our fairies at the library. So let's get to it. All right. Always just start with a glob, a big old bunch of Mod Podge, because I know I'm not ever gonna have too much. I can blend it out and blend it in. This is an actual old dictionary, good vintagey color already, so I don't have to worry about staining it, but I probably will still put a little bit of color on the background just to bring in some cohesiveness, but I love this old dictionary page. Now, I I am going to have wrinkles. I've yet to figure out how to not have wrinkles. And wrinkles don't really bother me, but I will use a credit card to see if I can't smooth out as much as I can. Usually if you've got wrinkles, there's a reason, either not enough, Mod Podge, or too much. Mine is usually probably not enough. So I'm gonna do the best I can to get those all moved out. I get those fake, those Act Now pre-approved cards all the time in the mail, and I use those a lot because they're not real and they're not really plasticky, but they're usually like just a little bit of chipboard with a plasticky feel or finish to them. So they work great for this, and I'm okay if they only last like one session and then I have to throw them out. Didn't matter to me. I'm just trying to do background. I used to teach Pinot's palette, and I'd always say when we're about to do an art class, like, look, here's the deal. This is the background. Don't love it. It's just the background. Here's also the deal. Don't hate it. It's just the background. So you can't fall in love with your background because you know you're going to be putting stuff on top of it. So a background is meant to do just that. We're just giving this page a little bit of interest by adding some of these words and a couple of different pages in different colorways, and we're going to make it all work together, hopefully, in the end. And if we don't, oh well, it's a page in my journal. I will just tell everyone, don't look at that page in my journal because I hate it. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Oh, I do want to put a little bit of music in there too. So let's get some of this music going. This is where I should tell you that it's a great idea to have wax paper in between your pages, and this is also where I realize I don't have wax paper in between my pages. So I'm gonna have to be very careful not to glue this journal together. But you know, very careful is a loose term for I'll probably glue these pages of this journal together, but I'll figure it out. I will separate it soon enough. Okay, I think I probably should go get some wax paper. I'll be right back. Definitely will not hurt to have something down in betwixt there. A nice little water. Ooh, that is a lot of Mod Podge, but that's okay. ahead and put this one under here in anticipation of me working on this side here in a minute. Get out of the way. We're just going to continue to build up some layers of book pages and interesting background. I have to say this, that Jane Davenport journal that I love, she's mixed media, and so her journals are designed to take a kicking, a licking and keep on ticking, like the old Timex commercials, but I swear, I take them to the edge of their life, because as you can see, I'm not real precious about if I've got too much or if I've not got enough. When I do this Mod Podge and stuff, I know it's just background. I'm just trying to get some interest in this background, especially since I'm about to do a theme of a library. So this is just me going like, let's get some words on a page. Not real worried about where it lands or how it looks, because I know this is just the background. Just the background. Oh my God. I've got this all over everything, but that's okay. Sometimes you'll have it all over everything. The good thing about putting the Mod Podge on the top and the bottom, this is matte, so it's going to allow me to use all sorts of mixed media on top of it, but it also allows me to kind of make some mistakes and erase them, because the Mod Podge will act as sort of a sealant, sort of a barrier to whatever I do. So I'm sealing up this, I have to say, Jane Davenport's journal, it is thirsty. Like, it is sopping up all of this juice immediately as soon as I put it down. So I'm having to kind of work extra hard. If I put gesso down or put down a layer first, this wouldn't be going as slow as it is, but you know, slow is a relative term. I think it's probably going just as quick as anything else would, so I'm not in a hurry. I'm just having fun. Okay, now got a few little spots that I want to do a little spot surfing on. do one more little smooth it out thing. Like I said, wrinkles do not bother me. If they did, then I probably would have quit the whole concept of collage a long time ago, because I've never been able to master the non-wrinkly collage, but I have mastered the embracing the wrinkly collage. I mean, that's the whole point. You're giving texture to a page, then why are you mad? Because it's not all nice and straight. Texture is wrinkles, in my opinion. So, all right, we're gonna let this dry. And then I'm going to do a little bit of knocking some of this back. Plus I'm going to put a little bit of this. This is a Jane Davenport Incredible Ink Tinsel, which was one of her puppy's names. And so I'm going to drop some of this because it is sort of like a nice tea, stain, coffee, vintagey color. And I'm going to have a little bit of splatters, and then I'm going to mix that in with a little bit of water and just see what we get. I think it'll give a nice little overall background effect. Water, of course. And then I'm just going to grab a larger brush out of here and sort of mix that up. Vintagey. Now, like I said, I abuse these journals. You saw me just soak it in Mod Podge, and now I'm just soaking it in water because I just don't respect them. I just throw my stuff all over them. I'm gonna make this a little bit dirtier, and then I'll probably put some darker splashes on top of that once I see how dark this is gonna fade out into. But thankfully, Jane Davenport's journals can take it. Man, they can take some liquid, some water, some abuse. They're made for mixed media. Now, if you've got one that's not made for mixed media, look out. If you're just doing like an altered book or something like that, might not be able to tolerate some of this. So I do have like a little bit of a paper towel that I want to soak up some of the puddles with. And now I will let this dry. And then I also have like her hot cocoa Incredible Ink. They used to smell. I don't think they smell anymore. I literally dug these out of a garage because I've just moved. And I just kind of want some darker, intense sort of coffee spots. I'm just going to let these do what they want to do. Ooh, that did smell good. All right, I'll see you on the other side. All right, so that is dried up. Let's look at the placement of our little fairy library. I kind of think maybe I need to go right down the middle here and put some of that on the other side. I kind of think she might need to be sitting on like a mushroom or something. She can definitely be sitting over here, maybe. I made a copy of the book, but I'm just going to use it to give the illusion that the library is much larger, since I have a much larger page than this book page allotted me. So we're going to have that bookshelf. Column. Let's get rid of this little line here. All right, let's build up this library. And then the fairies will come if we build it right. Okay, so I'm gonna lighten up some of the noise back here where she's sitting, so she will show up a little better. Just a little bit of Ancient Pages acrylic paint from Jane Davenport. And I am not gonna be real worried about how well this covers. This is just to lighten the load a little bit. Got a lot of purple in these fairy ephemera book pages, so I just wanted to add a little bit of this bodacious acrylic paint from Dina Wakley to kind of make the color ways make a little more sense. And I am bad about using my finger, or good about using my fingers. I'm not even gonna act like that's a bad thing. Let's take a look at that again. Now that I got that color laid down. And this would be here. Uh-oh. Column separating where the seam doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh, no. I guess the column needs to be here for the repeat pattern. Look at this mystical library, how cute. I am gonna also do the same sort of technique up through here. Set this aside for a second. So, Kim, why did you do all of that if you're going to cover it up? Because I didn't know. Sometimes you know, sometimes you don't. And I wasn't sure how this page was going to come out, but I did know that if there was any background showing, it would be really neat if it had words on it, like a library. And so, if nothing else, it gives the background a little bit of texture and interest, and that's okay too. Because I think just gonna frame it up. Get out of there. And I may even use some of this darker blue because that's another color that's in that background. Lapis by Dina Wakley. Okay. Been a minute since I used this stuff. Look, it's hurting. It is hurting. Go ahead and get a little water on my brush because I can already tell that that's not going to blend very nicely. Forget our purple. Where did it go? It's around here somewhere. I think up here. I want to do a little purple up in here too. Of course, now I need to dry it again. I believe we're ready for our background. Okay. Let's get our Mod Podge going. Let me lay it back out again the way we had it. Oh, those colors are so pretty. I believe this came all the way over, though. Not to extend into that. Okay, that's more like it. Just see if I can't get the white lines to line up, because I'll probably wind up painting over those anyway. That will help serve as a sort of marker. Remember, the actual collage page is really good quality, and I did make a copy of that library on my printer, which I use really cheap printer paper because I'm normally printing stuff for work that I just need to maybe look at an Excel spreadsheet and then throw it away. I don't do a lot of quality printing, or I don't need a lot of quality print in my job, so trust me when I say that paper that came in the collage book is going to be way better than what I've done, for sure. All right, so let's get this one in order. I like to just kind of run my fingernail down through the crease of the book to be sure that when I go to turn the page, this page will be friendly to turning the page and not get all stuck up. You'll see I forgot to trim that extra white piece off of my printed copy, so I will paint that in later and hopefully blend it in enough where it won't be as noticeable as it is right now. Hopefully. Keywords. That ink is literally rubbing off of that. That's from my printer, not from the quality of these collage pages, not at all. Sometimes I just can't decide if I want the front or the back, and when they're double-sided, it makes me a little bit crazy. So if I make a copy, as long as I'm not selling it or trying to make money, this is going into my personal journal as just a little bit of, I needed to wind down and take a little mental break kind of journey, not as I want to prove to someone how great I am at doing something. I actually say this kind of often. I art for my mental health, but I have worked at like Pinot's Palette and Wine Design and Sips and Strokes before, and it's funny because if I'm just that person who, if I'm not in the mood to paint, my painting sucks. I totally do it for the emotional high that I get and the feeling of not having a care in the world and forgetting all your worries. That is definitely why I art. And if I ever try to make money at it, it's kind of funny how it backfires on me. And I've just got one column. Maybe goes here. Just to give an illusion of that not being a repeat pattern up there. All right, again, let's let this bad boy dry and see what happens. some of these edges that are real obvious that the painting ends here, and I want this to look like a panoramic picture of a actual fairy library. So just putting in a little bit of Lindy Poo on this bottom part, so maybe it will blend enough where you can't tell. Such a cute little fairy library. So exciting. TBC, to be continued, because I'm not sure what to do with that right now. Thanks. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and put our little girls in. I was trying to find some flowers. I couldn't find them. So maybe next time, maybe later. She definitely has to be glued up because her foot is going behind the stack of books that she's sitting on. Kind of have to work out the adjustment of it. There we go. She's so cute. I feel like she is the party fairy, and she didn't want to go to the library today, but she's got some nerdy friends, and she's looking at them like, are you through reading that book yet? Oh my God, I'm ready to go home. That's what she's saying, her little fairy friends. Like, can y'all just come on already? This is boring to me. I want to go home and play video games. She is definitely not the reader of the bunch. Of course, these girls, they're like, oh, you're gonna have to wait because this book is really good. So I put a little tiny book in her hands. I don't know if it's gonna hold up or not, but we'll see. And try to just kind of glue it to her. we'll see. She's got an itty bitty, tiny, teeny, whiny, teeny, teeny, teeny neck. So, I've got her glued to her wing. There's only a couple of fairies small enough to be background fairies. So, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to get it loose. Wah, wah, wah. Maybe I can do something about that later, who knows. I just wanted her kind of standing right there. Lord, I have butchered this girl. Gonna have to do something about that wang. But it kind of does look like she's standing on the stair reading a book. And that was the whole point. Oh, goodness. And now this one, I made a little book. I just drew it and painted it brown to go in place of her little heart. So I think I'll glue her up first. Kind of wanted her to be right here. I noticed that black ink pen I used is turning green when the glue hits it, so that's lovely. But at least we did get a fairy library scene down. And now I just need to I want to find some flowers and some vines. I might have to draw that in and maybe some random books lying around, but for now, this is my little fairy library collage. And I think it's so super cute. Oh my God. All right, we'll check in with you next time and show you what else I decide to do with it. Thanks for watching. Chaotic Crafting. Bye.